Tonight on Evening, get away to the San Juans.
It's magnificent. It's worth the trip.
Explore Susha with the island's only resident ranger. Visit a boat and oyster farm that's a delicious destination. Discover a one-of-a-kind resort that's been a family favorite for decades. And catch all the crab you can eat.
Welcome everyone to this special edition of our show. We are just now leaving Roche Harbor and we are going to go explore the San Juans. This is amazing, but getting here was half the fun. The journey before the journey came courtesy of Kenmore Air. It took less than an hour to get here on a float plane from Seattle, but the views are so good you almost wish the flight was longer. Truthfully though, we want all the time we can get right here with our friends because this is quite a vessel. This power catamaran, an Aspen C120, is designed and built right here in Washington, Burlington to be exact, and it is such a family operation that owner Larry Graff is our captain today. His son Nick is co-captaining a boat behind us. This 40-footer is designed for cruising with friends and family or co-workers. It can sleep up to 7 folks, and get this, the forward berth has a king-size bed. That generally doesn't happen in a boat under 60 feet. There's a queen VIP guest stateroom and a second guest stateroom with 2 beds. Everyone can get together in the salon where there's a 360-degree view from every seat, or the large cockpit, which is perfect for outdoor gatherings. The galley, which is honestly bigger than my kitchen at home, is in the middle of everything, not tucked away like they often are. And a bonus for the cook, the view is one of the best ones on the boat. Another thing that makes this boat unique, the asymmetrical hull. It delivers efficiency, stability, and a smooth ride. All the better for taking in the sights here in the San Juans. All right, so let's start this adventure with a world-class boating destination. There you will find smugglers' caves, and maybe even dinosaur bones.
It is a magic place, yeah.
You're really in touch with nature when you're here.
Even people who live in the San Juan Islands say this island's special.
When I asked somebody who grew up around the islands which was his favorite island, and he said, beyond a shadow of a doubt, he said, oh, Susha. So, and I think it's probably ours now, too.
Here we go.
Susha Island is the crown jewel of Washington State Marine Parks, with its bays, beaches, and natural beauty. And it's Ranger Steve Crosby's job to help take care of it all.
I'm the resident park ranger here, Monday through Thursday.
In the 1950s, half of this island was a state park, and the other half was slated to become vacation homes. Then in 1960, yacht clubs from all over Washington State came together to stop the development.
And they did a fundraising drive, and they raised the magnificent sum of $25,000, and they bought the entire rest of the island.
Today, this place is priceless, and it belongs to us all. The whole island is a state park. Visitors hike to sandstone caves once used by smugglers.
This is where the smugglers would have hidden their contraband in the little indents in these rocks.
You can also explore Fossil Bay, where Washington's only dinosaur bone was discovered in 2012.
They named it now, and it's called the Sushasaurus because it's the only specimen ever found.
Mooring buoys, anchoring spots, and docks make Susha a bucket list place for boaters.
A very beautiful spot.
And if your boat's not big enough to sleep aboard, you're still in luck.
There's some magnificent camping sites. Our campsites are waterfront, all of them, just about.
Site 44 is Steve's favorite, and that's a pretty good view for $15 a night.
You're not going to have a campsite where you don't have a view of something spectacular.
Susha Island is an excellent excuse to take up boating or become friends with someone who already has one.
It's magnificent. It's worth the trip. Every Washingtonian should figure out a way to get here.
So if you want to visit Susha, there are water taxi services, and Hotel Bellwether in Bellingham also has a boat that goes there, and you don't have to be a guest at the hotel to book it. But if you're looking for a location with a few more creature comforts, Jim has a terrific idea.
Whether you arrive by land or by sea, Snug Harbor Resort on San Juan Island just feels special.
It's very much like a throwback in time, back to the good old days.
Families have been vacationing here since the 1960s. Through the decades, the resort has always had a marina, so folks cruising the San Juans can dock their boats and spend some time on land.
We've got fire pits and picnic tables, games for kids, and so someone can come on a 26-foot boat and have extra guests staying in rooms and enjoy the amenities.
The cabins combine cozy with luxury.
So the kitchens are really complete, set up for people that love to cook and love to prepare food for people they love.
Also, there are personal touches like custom furniture made from old sewing machines. Tamara grew up in the San Juans and loved to sew with her mom.
This is from the old treadle sewing machines.
Another unique thing about this resort, it's so close to where the local resident orcas hang out, researchers keep their boats on these docks.
They're all based here at our marina because it is so close to the outside of San Juan Island. We see whales quite a bit right outside the marina.
No guarantees on whale sightings, of course, but there are a couple of things every guest who stays at Snug Harbor will experience.
Peace and serenity. Pretty simple.
Thank you, Jim. Snug Harbor was completely rebuilt in 2014 and it is open year-round. Okay, our next stop is another island that's a popular boating destination, and it's a place where time seems to stand still.
Accessible only by boat, Stewart Island is one of the hidden treasures of the San Juans. Boaters have two places to tie up. There's Prevost Harbor on the north side of the island and Reed Harbor to the south. Both have access to Stewart Island Marine State Park, a 433-acre marine camping area with over 33,000 feet of shoreline to explore.
It's one of the few places in the San Juan Island where you can tie your boat, get off, and walk somewhere, and when you get there, there's something to see.
Jim and Linda Berquist are two of the 20 or so full-time residents who call the island home. Linda's family has lived on and off Stewart for well over a century.
My grandmother's brother was a lightkeeper, so he came and helped build the lighthouse in 1893.
Located on the northwestern corner of the island, Turn Point Lighthouse was once a beacon for ships traveling between the waters of Washington and Canada. Locals like the Berquists have helped preserve the station for others to enjoy.
This is the building that housed the lightkeeper and the assistant lightkeeper and their families.
Closer to shore, the original keeper's house is now home to photos and artifacts from Turn Point's past.
We had a lightkeeper here from 1902 to 1923, and when he came, he brought his fancy camera, and he took about 2,000 pictures, and so we've been able to access almost all those pictures. Yeah, it's a pretty nice little setup.
Another place to visit on Stewart Island is the old one-room schoolhouse built in 1904.
It's a library now. It's open for people to come and read a book if they're on their boat. And then the smaller building is delightful. That is a museum, and we've tried to capture the history of the island there.
Stewart may not be as well known as the other islands, but its history and beauty are as deep as the waters that surround it.
Because it's our hope that people who come and see the beauty of this island will also have an appreciation of the history of it and all that went into making it what it is today.
Okay, important to note, Stewart Island has no stores, but there is a place called the Treasure Chest. You can go there and buy a Stewart Island t-shirt on the honor system, so you just mail them a check later. Another reason to simply love the islands.
Up next, the San Juan Island stop for you shuck oysters. And got crab? Find out from an expert how to harvest a bounty. Boat travel and crew accommodations provided by Seattle Boat Show.
Welcome back to this very special edition of Evening. We are cruising the San Juans aboard the Silver Time, and this is my co-host today, boat dog Daisy. I love her so much. Okay, our next stop is a farm that actually harvests its bounty from right here in the Salish Sea.
This bay is a love story for those who love what grows beneath the water, and for Andrea and Eric, who met more than 40 years ago.
I was 18, you were 19.
Mm-hmm. Back then, Westcott Bay was home to an operational oyster farm they'd often visit.
We would take a little putt-putt boat over to here to Westcott Bay to pick up some oysters out of the one tank they had and pay in the honor jar.
But as years passed, the farm declined, and by 2013...
derelict everything. The dock was completely riddled with holes. The dock inspector fell through when he came to check it out. It was a mess.
Eric and Andrea set about restoring it, clearing weeds, cleaning up the bay, constructing operational buildings, and learning everything they could about aquaculture. Now, it's a thriving family farm based on stewardship and sustainability. Westcott Bay Shellfish Company.
We have different sizes.
So this is your extra small?
This is called the booter.
From large grillers to slurpable high beach sweets, mussels, and clams, customers can still buy bags of fresh shellfish from a to-go stand. But there's also a restaurant serving a picnic lunch menu featuring produce, baked goods, and beverages from other small island businesses, served in a cleverly named seating area.
Tide tables, yes.
With a view of the bay where their meals are harvested, diners can order fresh oysters on the half shell, or, with help from Westcott staff, learn how to shuck their own.
Yeah, thank you. They all think they don't want to do it and they get intimidated, but then when the whole table is shucking an oyster together, they have so much fun, there's lots of laughter.
Uh-oh.
When they do it, they feel very accomplished. Go on their resume.
Grilled oysters are also a big seller, topped with flavors like chipotle bourbon or lime cilantro and sriracha. 50% of visitors come in by boat. Don't be surprised if Eric's the one managing the bow line. But however you arrive, every guest becomes a part of this bay's love story for the land and sea, the tight-knit community, and the years of memories it holds.
Well, we still like each other, so.
It was a test of a love story. Yeah. That's been a real fantastic thing for both of us.
Yeah.
All right, Westcott Bay Shellfish's tide tables are open Thursday through Monday from 11 to 4, and reservations are very highly recommended. But if you would like to harvest your own seafood, there's no place better to do that than a boat. When Jim visited the San Juans a couple of years ago, shrimp were in season, and the islands are a prime spot for spot prawns.
3, 2, 1, woohoo!
George Harris, the president and CEO of the Northwest Marine Trade Association, helped him harvest a bounty.
Nicely done. Thank you.
So we came back out with George for his expertise on pulling something equally delicious from these waters, crab.
So here's 6 critical things you need to go crabbing successfully. We've got a pot here. We've got our bait holder for a piece of chicken or a salmon carcass. Something that's really important is leaded line. This is line that sinks when it's in the water, really important for boat traffic. Required to have a red and white buoy with your name, address, and phone number on it. And then finally, the last most important piece is your WDFW fishing license with the Dungeness Crab catch record card.
Wow.
And here is the end result, another meal from the sea. We did have one more question for George. How does he avoid getting pinched?
I call it the crab Nelson. You work from the back of the crab. I put one finger on the back of their carapace, these 2 fingers on their back legs, a little triangle, and you can hold them that way.
I'm so hungry now, but we have to head to Orcas Island. It's actually the biggest of the San Juans with multiple marinas and plenty to do. Jim has a few ideas.
As one of the jewels of the Salish Sea, Orcas Island has always been a sought-out destination. If you go, be sure not to miss the highest point on the island,
Mount Constitution. At almost half a mile above sea level, it's the highest point in the San Juan Islands. When it's open, the observation tower built during the Great Depression is worth the walk up, offering sweeping views of the water and surrounding islands. If hiking around has built up your appetite, there's a great place down the road where you'll find food that doesn't get any fresher.
You are in Olga, Washington, which is on beautiful Orcas Island, and the name of our farm is Buck Bay Shellfish Farm.
Buck Bay has been producing oysters and clams off and on since the 1930s.
Oysters. One of the funnest things that people really like to do, and where we kind of all started, was you could go into our live room where we have live oysters and live clams and live crab.
They took an old boat barn and made it part of a bistro they opened in 2019.
We put the commercial kitchen on the back side of it with the hope of being able to make the best fish and chips in the whole entire world. When you come into the bistro, you can get oysters a few different ways. You can get them raw on the half shell, or you can get them fried, deep fried.
People who come to Buck Bay Shellfish Farm leave here with more than just full bellies.
It just seems to be people's happy place.
Besides great food, Orcas is also home to many talented artists, like the ones you'll find at Orcas Island Pottery.
We have a lot of people that come here every year, and a lot of people say it's their favorite place on earth. It was started in 1945 by a couple named Joe and Markley Sherman. We sell pottery that's everything from functional dinnerware to decorative pieces. Most of our pottery is the more functional dinnerware. From start to finish, it's usually at least a couple of weeks because the piece has to be thrown and then trimmed and dried, fired, glazed, fired again.
Kim and her brothers are now a part of the 4 generations of potters here, keeping the ancient art alive.
It's one of the oldest traditions in human civilization is making pottery, and I think that things just feel different in your hands when you know that it was made by a person.
With so much beauty, both man-made and natural on Orcas Island, leaving here with memories that will last a lifetime is almost guaranteed.
Thank you, Jim. By the way, probably the most famous Orcas Islander of all times, Oprah Winfrey, she sold her 40-acre waterfront estate in 2021 for $14 million. That's a lot of money.
Up next, a yearly gathering on San Juan Island that has pubs and pirates and plenty of boats. Air transportation to the San Juans provided by Kenmore Air.
Welcome back to our San Juan Islands boating special. Well, Roche Harbor is a popular stopping place for mega yachts worth millions, but it's also a terrific gathering ground for everyday boats. Here's Jim.
Once a year, seafarers invade Roche Harbor in the San Juan Islands, taking the place over with lots of libations and salty dogs. This is the Ranger Tug Rendezvous.
It's the world's largest rendezvous.
We can't verify VP Jeff Mesmer's statement, but there are a lot of boats here.
Well, rendezvous is kind of a reason to have a big party, basically. So we've got 225 boats here. There's over 500 people. It's Roche Harbor's largest event.
There's also a lot of local pride. These boats were built in the Pacific Northwest.
We're the largest boat builder on the west coast of the United States, and certainly the largest in Washington.
One reason the vessels are so popular? They're beginner friendly.
I'd say at least 50% of our customers have never owned a boat. It's been a dream of theirs.
Another reason, they've got the gadgets. General Manager Andrew Custis shows us the bells and whistles.
This is the part that gets everybody. Who doesn't need a washer dryer and another refrigerator and freezer on their 41-foot boat?
Also, you may think dogs come standard with these boats. They don't. But it's clear from the number of dock dogs here that these boats are perfect for pups.
This is Gus, and Gus is a boat dog. He loves the water and he loves to sleep.
At the Ranger Tug Rendezvous, it's hard to tell what's more colorful, the boats or the people who love them. We've decided it's a tie.
And they have character. I mean, the boats, they're fun, they're cute. They have colored holes, and people smile when they see our boats.
It's just a wonderful time. It's just great.
Thank you, Jim. They also have a blindfolded dinghy race every year, and yes, spectators are welcome to that as well to witness all the chaos. With views like this, we never want the show to end, but sadly we are almost out of time. So our thanks to Aspen Power Catamarans for hosting us tonight. And for more information about anything you've seen on the show, just hit up our website, king5evening.com. Good night, everyone.